Once again, I want to welcome you to the second aspect of this class. The first aspect was where we gave the general characteristics of arthropoda, and because I said that there are so much to study and I didn't want the video to be too long, I had to divide the class into two different sessions. So we want to look at the second aspect of this class, and that is where we'll now talk about the various subphyla that are found under this phylum Arthropoda. Don't forget I said this is the largest phylum in the whole of animal kingdom. And as we begin to dissect the different subphyla and classes, you now agree with me that truly this is the largest phylum in the whole of animal kingdom. So we're going to start with the first subphylum, which is called the Trilobitomorpha. The Trilobitomorpha. This Trilobitomorpha is also known, okay, no. The examples of Trilobitomorpha are the trilobites, members of this subphylum are collectively called the trilobites. And as a matter of fact, this group this group is the most primitive group, when it comes to the whole of Arthropoda as a phylum. So members of Trilobite or Trilobitomorpha are the most primitive. And if you look at their body, you discover that they are flattened and oval in shape. They are oval and flattened in shape, oval and flattened in shape, very flattened in terms of the shape. And their body is divided into three different parts: the head, the thorax, and a very reduced abdomen. This reduced abdomen is called the pygidium. The pygidium. So they have a reduced abdomen that's called the pygidium. The pygidium. Example is Dalmanite socialis. Example of members of this group is Dalmanite socialis. Dalmanite socialis. That's an example of members of this group. Okay, that is the few things we just want to talk about under the first phylum, which is the Trilobitomorpha. Now, where the bulk of the job is in the Chelicerata. Members of Chelicerata have two different segments. Remember, I just mentioned that this group, known as the trilobites, have three segments: the head, the thorax, and an abdomen that is very short or reduced and is called the pygidium. So, but coming to members of Chelicerata, they have two different segments. Those segments are called the cephalothorax and abdomen. Normally we should have the head, the thorax, and abdomen. Head also means cepha. So whenever you hear cepha, it means head in biology. So cephalothorax. So cephalothorax means that the head is now joined with the thorax to form a single segment that is called cephalothorax. So instead of having head, thorax, and abdomen, they now have cephalothorax and abdomen. So that is what you see in members of this group. Then the Chelicerae. They have Chelicerae, and the Chelicerae are the first part of the cephalothoracic appendage. So they have Chelicerae. They have what they call the Chelicerae, and that is why they are found under the subphylum Chelicerata. Chelicerata, Chelicerae, found under the subphylum Chelicerata. Then we also discovered that the Chelicerae are the first part of the cephalothoracic appendages. The first part of the cephalothoracic appendages. So I've talked about the cephalothoracic appendage. So the first part of it, the first segment of this cephalothoracic appendage is what they call chelicerae. So you can see here chelicerae are the first part of the cephalothoracic appendage. So let me write this. Chelicerae are the first part of the cephalothoracic appendage. Okay, then it is also important you understand that the members of this group do not have antenna. They also don't have compound eyes, but there is presence of simple eyes. So it is a peculiar characteristic of members of Chelicerata. No antenna, no compound eyes, but presence of simple eyes. Then there are about four different classes in members of this group. I have about four different classes. Let me write them boldly. The first class is Euryperida. Members of this class are all extinct. That means they have gone extinction. Not even one living representative is known. Then the second class is Pycnogonida. This is where you see the spiders, but not the one you know, the sea spider. They're under Pycnogonidia. Then we have the third class called Xiphosaura. Under Xiphosaura, that is where you see the horseshoe crab. Horseshoe crab are found under the Xiphosaura. Then the next one is Arachnida. Of course, this Arachnida is common. The spider and the scorpion. The spider and the scorpion, they are found under Arachnida. And this one is common to us. Everybody has seen scorpion and spider. So in total, there's another important thing which I want to write out now. There are 6 pairs of appendages in the cephalothorax. So like I've explained, the cephalothorax, the head, which is joined with the thorax, and the abdomen. So within the cephalothorax, not the abdomen now, there are 6 different appendages you see within the cephalothorax. So I want to list out the 6 different appendages you see within the cephalothorax. The first appendages. Six appendages of the cephalothorax. The first one is a pair of Chelicerae. Second one is a pair of pedipalp. And 4 pairs of walking legs. 4 pairs of walking legs. So note this: there are six appendages of the cephalothorax. Cephalothorax, the one pair of chelicerae, one pair of pedipalp, and four pairs of walking legs. So 4, 5, and 6. And the organ of respiration is the long book, and that is for spider. The organ of respiration is the long book for spider, and tracheae, the tracheae for scorpion. For scorpion, the tracheae for scorpion. So for respiration, we have long book for spider, then for scorpion, tracheae, the tracheae. So that is the few things we need to know about Chelicerae. Let's now look at the next subphylum, which is the Mandibulata. The major word when it comes to Mandibulata is the mandibles. They have this a mouth part that is called the mandible. Of course, in Chelicerata, what they have is chelicerae. So what replaces the chelicerae in Mandibulata is the presence of the mandibles. And they have antenna and mandibles. And these mandibles are, they have antenna, there's presence of antenna in members of this group. They also have mandibles, like I've said. So these mandibles are a kind of uh, what's the word now? Modified as a mouth part. In fact, it's a mouth part. It's a mouth part. The mandible is a mouth part. Not even that they're modified as a mouth part. The mandible is a mouth part, and this mouth part is used for piercing and sucking. For piercing and sucking, mosquito and tsetse fly. Tsetse fly. So the mandibles that are used for piercing and sucking can be found in mosquito. Of course, you know that when mosquito bites, it pierces before it begins to suck the blood. The same thing happens in the case of tsetse fly. So then we also have the ones that are used to biting and chewing. Biting and chewing. This is where you see the cockroach and the grasshopper. That is the one that are that have biting and chewing as a method of feeding. They bite and they chew. All right. In addition to these mandibles, members of Mandibulata also have another mouth part that is called the maxilla. In addition to the mandibles, they also have a mouth part that is called the maxilla. And this will lead us to the four different classes. The four classes. Remember, we mentioned four classes in this other group, Chelicerata. We're also trying to mention four classes. Like I said, Arthropoda is so huge, and that is why I divided the video into two different parts. It's already 14 minutes, and I wouldn't want this to be too much. Okay, so for four classes, the first class is a crustacean. The first class is a crustacean. The crustacean. Of course, the members of crustacean have two pairs of antenna and a pair of mandible. They have two pairs of antenna two pairs of antenna, a pair of mandible, and two pairs of maxilla, two pairs of maxilla. The typical and known and common examples of crustaceans, of course, are the crabs. Mm, the the crabs, the crayfish, and all of that. They are under the crustaceans. So you can see their basic characteristics: two pairs of antenna, two pairs of mandible, and a pair of mandible and two pairs of maxilla. Then the next one, this is the first class. The second class is the one they call the Chilopoda. Chilopoda. Whenever you hear Chilopoda, the first thing that should come to your mind is 100-legged animal. 100-legged animal. Eh? So that is a common name that is given to the Chilopoda, and their body is divided into head and trunk. Head and trunk. Their body is divided into head and trunk. And they're carnivorous. Members of this group are also carnivorous, and also have poison claws. They also have poison claws. A minute. So, like I said, they have poison claws, and the legs the legs on the first segment, the appendages on the first segment are the ones that were modified or that are modified as poison claws, and of course is an advantage to the organism because it also help in protecting the organism from predators. So that poison claws are found on the first segment. On the first segment. Then we'll have the next one, which is Diplopoda. Diplopoda. So what's the example of Chilopoda? Centipede. Example of Chilopoda is a centipede. Then Diplopoda, members of Diplopoda, that's the next class. The next class is okay. The second one I said Chilopoda. The next one is Diplopoda. So members of Diplopoda have antenna too. There's presence of antenna. They also have three pairs of mouth parts. Three pairs of mouth parts. They have three pairs of mouth parts. The first pair is called the. They have three pairs of mouth parts. Yes, a pair of mandible, and two pairs of maxilla. A pair of mandibles. Oh, okay. I think there's a mistake somewhere. There's a mistake somewhere. A pair of antenna, that is Chilopoda, a pair of antenna, three pairs of mouth parts. Okay, let me confirm something. Yes, okay. I was missing up the Diplopoda with the Chilopoda. So let's make the correction. So what I wrote about the Chilopoda, what I wrote about the Chilopoda first is that the body is divided into head and trunk, and of course I've mentioned that there are 100 legged worms, 100 legged worms. Then they have a pair of antenna. They have a pair of antenna, and now three pairs of mouth parts, And in these pairs of mouth parts, they have a pair of mandible, a pair of mandible, and two pairs of maxilla. So you can see that a pair of mandibles and two pairs of maxilla. So you can see that the same mouth part we have the incrustation is also obtainable in Chilopoda. They have a pair of mandible and two pairs of maxilla. So these ones also have a pair of mandible and two pairs of maxilla. Okay, so the Diplopoda is the next one now. The Diplopoda, we are still talking about the Mandibulata. As a matter of fact, the three subphylum we have in Arthropoda is the trilobite, the Chelicerata, and the Mandibulata. So every other thing I've been saying or talking about now is under Mandibulata. So we've talked about the first class, which is crustacean, the second class, Chilopoda, the third class is Diplopoda, and that's what we want to look at, the Diplopoda. Diplopoda, they have a pair of antenna, a pair of antenna, then two pairs of mouth parts, a pair of mouth parts, a pair of antenna and two pairs of mouth parts. Then they don't have no poison claw. Just like we said that the first segment of the Chilopoda have been modified as poison claw. But in the case of the Diplopoda, there is absence of poison claws at all. And the common name of this Diplopoda is 1,000-legged animal. 1,000-legged animal. 1,000-legged animal because of the numerous appendages. 1,000-legged animal. Then example is the millipede. The millipede. The example of that of Chilopoda is the centipede, whereas in this one it's called the millipede. The last class is the Insecta. And one of the basic characteristics of Insecta is the fact that they are ubiquitous. The insects, microorganisms, and nematodes share this characteristics called ubiquity or ubiquitous. What does it mean? It means that they are found almost in every conceivable ecosystem. They are found everywhere. You see the insects everywhere. Of course, what are the common insects? The cockroaches, the fly, and so on and so forth. There's so many examples of insects. Their body is divided into head, thorax, and abdomen. And the thorax is subdivided into the prothorax, the metathorax, and the mesothorax. The mesothorax. The mesothorax. So that is all we'll have to study in arthropoda. Like I told you before, you can see how cumbersome the study of arthropoda is because it's so huge. So the last phylum which we'll be looking at under this animal kingdom, okay, second to the last, the last because we'll briefly look at chordata. So but the last one is the echinodermata, which we'll be studying in our next class. Thank you for being part of this class. Share to many that you know we need it. See you in my next class.